Hello students, I'm Dr. Himanshu Kanpal, Assistant Professor English Government MS College for Women, Bikaner. Today we are going to have a brief overview of English drama in India. Drama in India is as old as the Indian customs. Right from the Vedic era, Indian theatre made its presence felt amidst Vedic ritualism and ethnicities. Indians were indeed comfortable in illustrating their mood through the artistry of mudra. Mudra is a Sanskrit word which means a symbolic hand gesture that has the power of producing joy and happiness. Lasya, it means beauty, happiness, and grace. And Natya. Natya means dramatic representation or drama with music, speech, and dance. Gradually, therefore, the distinct style of dramaturgy evolved as an illustration of the rich modes of Indian tradition, rituals, customs, and ethnicity. That was just the beginning, and thereafter, there was no looking back. Right from the ancient era to the modern era, theatre in India has embedded its glorious success whilst enriching India's culture to a great extent. With the passage of time, Indian drama became a lot more contemporary whilst revealing the naturalistic and realistic attributes of the socio-economic and political scenario of India. The larger than life aspects of the ancient Sanskrit drama gradually faded away. Dramas were no longer the narrative forms of the heroes and celestial beings, but it became a true representation of the unedited realisms of Indian social life. Bengali, Marathi, and Kannada theatres, coupled with the innovativeness of the English theatre, added a whole fresh dimension to the artistry of Indian Natya. The introduction of the artistic quality through the English drama in India added that contemporary dimension to Indian Natya. So we can see that how drama evolved from ancient to the modern times. In modern times, it became more realistic. The modish aspect in Indian drama was first shown during the British imperialism. Indian drama stood apart as the weapon of protest against the British Raj. It is then English drama in India made its presence felt quite enormously as a portrayal of the realisms of daily life. The contemporaneousness of the varied facets of English drama in India for the very first time then aided in illustrating the finer aspect of life, teamed with the regular instances of the poverty, sufferings, and agony of the common people. Now, the drama it talked about the sufferings of the poor people, the agony, and the problems of the common people. English theatres mainly initiated in different European countries and evolved in diverse stages. However, an Indian English drama arrived in the later part of 17th century with the arrival of the East India Company. British colonialism then did play the major role in changing the Indian dramaturgy whilst making it lot more chic. English drama in India gained a dimension with the establishment of three presidency towns by the British. Calcutta, Mumbai, and Madras therefore become the three metropolis in exemplifying the true aura of contemporary art forms through the grace of English drama. These cities then had the typical urban middle class audiences, which again helped them in thriving prosperity of the English theatre. The success of English drama in India was then not based on the sale of the tickets, was grounded on the support and patronage of the rich class, and the theatres were then an emblematic representation of the European ways of life. So, English drama it gained a new dimension when Britishers brought the English drama to India, and it flourished with the support and patronage of the affluent class. The colonial aspects, British imperialism, coupled with the tuneful harmonization of Eastern and Western philosophy, then crafted a marked change in the storyline and in the dramatic art, whilst making English drama in India a true representation of British culture, ways of life, and of course, a depiction of the British exploitation. The nature of English drama in India again changed with the independence of India. It was then not only a representation of European lifestyle but a lot more. We can see a lot of changes in the English drama in India with the independence. English drama then became a typical art form in epitomizing the socio-political and economic status of independent India. Means now the dramatists or the writers now they have started thinking in a different strain, as it was we can say it was brought by Britishers, but came a change with the when India became with the independence of India, and it started depicting the problems, the social, political, economic problems that were related to independent India. The rich chronicle of Indian drama, the colossal history of Indian Natya, then witnessed a marked change with the advent of the eminent theatre personalities like Habib, Tanvir, K. and Panikar, Girish Karnad, Vijay Tendulkar, and many others who further carried English drama in India to the further step of maturity. English drama in India, which was once just the illustration of British mistreatment, then gained a further up to date projection as the theatre personalities then tried to highlight Indian tradition, folklore, customs, rituals, conventions, and rite amidst the innovativeness of English drama. The saga of English drama, which began back in long gone era of British imperialism, further continued and is still an eminent part of the theatre forms in India. Continuous study, deep understanding, and above all, the tuneful blend of the West and East have helped English drama in India as a distinct art form, whilst aiding it stand apart with pride and dignity. Here, I would like to give you some names of the dramatists. Indian Indo-England drama doesn't have a long history, yet it can boast of some great dramatists. Rabindranath Tagore is one of the earliest and the most illustrious exponents of this genre. Tagore was a poet in essence, therefore his plays present poetic representation of his ideas and emotions. There is no doubt that he admired Shakespeare, Ibsen, but he had deep interest in dramatic tradition of India. Tagore, being ultra-modern in his thoughts, chose to express himself against such Indian customs as he found outdated and inhuman. Tagore drew on epics, Upanishads, etc. from the plots of his plays. His first play, Sannyasi, gives the message that withdrawing from the world is a negative impulse. Tagore's plays The King and the Queen and The Sacrifice are the two sides of the same coin. In Sacrifice, Gunavati the queen is lost in anticipated thoughts of motherhood. In Sumita, the queen and the king and the queen refuses to be merely a mistress and wife. She is eager to play the positive role to be a responsible queen. In Tagore's play Malini, Tagore decries obsolete ethical ideas. Princess Malini has Buddhist leanings. Brahmins demand her banishment for her heretic ideas. The same message of Buddha is given in Tagore's Natat Puja and Chandalika. The Cycle of Spring, written by Tagore, presents the natural phenomena of the end of the winter and birth of the spring. Red Ollanders presents the king with various functionaries like governor, assistant governor, deputy governor, doctor, professor, headman, wrestler, etc. Another play written by Tagore, that is Muktadhara, is often said to be the best play of Tagore. In this play, Tagore has said strongly against onslaught of machinery and technology. Progress is a double-edged sword. It affects the character of the people and lessens job opportunities. Some of Tagore's plays are inspired by the Mahabharata. Tagore's Chitra, for instance, represents the episode of Chitra's marriage with Arjun. Then there is Gandhari's prayer, present a study of a mother and a son. Some of other plays of Tagore was the King of the Dark Chamber, and the Post Office. Then the next dramatist of almost equal note was Aurobindo. He was a poet, dramatist, prose writer, and a mystic all in one. He is mainly known for his poetic works Life Divine and Savitri. His plays have receded to the secondary place, but his plays Perseus and the Deliverer, the Hero and the Nymph, Vaswadatta, the Viziers of Basora, Eric, and Prince of Ador are still read with great interest. Harendranath Chattopadhyay has written a number of plays. His 5 plays reflect his social consciousness, realism, and ironical prose. His play The Widow presents a vivid account of life of slum dwellers. Then he has written The Sentry's Lantern, The Coffin. The most ambitious of the Harendranath Chattopadhyay's work is Siddharth, Man of Peace. Then there is another writer, that is T.P. Kalasam's plays, which are written on Puranic themes. His plays The Burden is written about Bharat's return to Ayodhya and his learning about the death of his father. He has also written another play, that is Fulfillment. Kalasam's Karna is also based on the story of Mahabharata. His play Kichak presents mean, repulsive, and lustful Kichak in a new light. Then there is another writer, Dhan Gopal Mukherjee, who wrote a verse drama, Laila Majnu. Bharti Sarabhai wrote a famous play, The Well of the People, to fight against the evil of untouchability, caste prejudices. In her play, 2 women, Anuradha and Urvashi, are revolutionaries in character. Each of them has an artist and a saint combined in one, and they were in Bharati's life. A.S.P. Iyer's Slave of Ideas and other plays are also written in forceful prose. Then there is another writer, that is Asif Karimboy, wrote volumes of plays during the last decade. His plays, The Dole Drummers, acquired notoriety because the censors would not pass it till they were forced by a court judgment. Lakhan Deb wrote 3-act verse play Tiger Claw on Shivaji Afzal's episode. Nissim Ezekiel has written several good plays, though he is mainly known for his poetic works. Nalini, included in his 3 plays, is a comedy. His marriage poem is a domestic tragicomedy. The Sleep. Gurcharan Das, Lawrence Sahib, is a play in 3 acts. Jeev Patel wrote his play Princess to show the war going on between 2 Gujarat families over the possession of a male whose dead mother belonged to one family and the father to the other. Then there is another most important writer, the famous dramatist, that is Girish Karnad, who wrote Tughlaq, Yayati, Hayavadna, and Nag Mandala. His Tughlaq is a historical play. Hayavadna is a dramatic representation of a story taken from Katha Sarit Sagar. His Nag Mandala is a story of woman whose husband goes to a concubine and keeps his wife imprisoned within the 4 walls of the house. Then there is another writer, M.V. Rama Sharma, wrote 11 plays published in 1 volume, collected plays. Long and short plays were written every now and then. To name a few, Manohar Malgaonkar wrote Lines of Mass about Lord Dalhousie's regime of expansion. Ahmad Akhtar wrote Anarkali, a fantasy. Aarti Nagarwala wrote The Bait to Lure and Kill the Tiger that had killed his wife. Masti Venkatesha Iyengar, Kalidas, is an attempt to reconstruct the life of the great poet. Several other writers have tried their hands at this genre. Several other writers have tried this their hands at this genre. As we have talked about the English drama in India, we have named few of the dramatists. There are many more writers who have written English drama in India. This is all about English drama in India. Thank you.